Morning, Wayne. Thanks for having me.
Okay, it is still summer, time to think ahead and prepare your home for winter, and this is the time to do it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, you don't go hang your Christmas lights after it's snowing. You do that beforehand, and it's kind of the same thing.
Right.
One of the main things, and I have a little personal experience that Aero Service team helped me out with many years ago, and that is making sure that your landscaping is doing what it was designed to do. Tell us how that works.
Right. That goes with water and snow, right? Proper drainage away from the house. Around your edging, whether it's rock or mulch, you want to make sure that there's no downspouts that don't extend past to create damming.
Right.
You don't want standing water. You don't want snow to build up and then it just sits as it melts. So there's some preventative measures that you can take.
You know, is landscaping, let's assume that you've got it, running away from the house. Will that settle over time, and is that something that maybe at one point or another needs to be built back up again?
It can. It can. New construction, the city does a really good job of making sure it has that positive slope
Right.
on the rough grade, and then that carries on into the finished grade. We see settling in older houses, especially with our seasons, different types of soil. So it's really just the homeowner awareness and making sure that they're doing what they need to do.
You bring up a good point, Alex, because depending on where you're at in the city or the state or wherever you live, I mean, your soil is going to dictate a little bit of how your house settles and how things go. What do you look for as far as cracks in the foundation? Is any crack a danger sign, or does it have to be something that reaches a certain level?
I mean, that's situational, right? Larger cracks, you may need to look at having some structural engineering inspections, but it's really important to make sure that you see cracks along the foundation, along the sidewalks, that you fill them, that you caulk them, expansion, contraction with the winter.
So, cracks in the sidewalks, is that an indicator that maybe there's a bigger issue? Can be?
It can be.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the other things, and when we get these downpours like we've had here this week in various parts of the state, window wells can be a real problem too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Window well covers are really important. Again, like I said, low areas around the window wells where they'll seep in. The rock and how deep it's dug out beneath the window within the window well is really important too. We see that a lot where it builds up into the window, either breaks the window, floods the house, or it seeps in.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of pressure that can break a
Absolutely.
window. Outside, I mean, we're going to get to the roof here in a second, but outside of coverings of those window wells, is there anything else that people can do as far as preventative? Like you said, maybe
just walk around the house and make sure, like I said, that you have positive slope. Window wells are covered, downspouts extend past your edging. Water just needs to divert away from the house. We don't want it to sit around the house.
And the way to divert it is with proper gutter system and downspouts and things. What are some areas that we should look for as far as that's concerned?
Inspect your gutters, especially if you're in an established neighborhood with a lot of trees.
Yep.
You don't want that to fill up. That's going to affect how it drains in the summer and in the winter. You also see newer construction areas, new developments. Obviously, it's windy in North Dakota. You get a lot of dust that blows up in there. Dirt builds up. That can affect how things flow and drain and adds weight to it, sagging gutters. So there's a lot of things that go into play.
Okay, now if we can bring up those roofing pictures again, not only look for shingles, but when you're up there, maybe missing shingles. There may be some cracks in some of your vents, but also that's a place where you can check your gutters from up top.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, whether you call a company like us we do free inspections, or you happen to be able to get up there and you're able to get up there and look, take some pictures, and obviously look, that right there, that's going to affect how it vents, so heating and cooling, and that's also going to allow water or snow to get into your attic and get insulation that's wet, and you're going to see staining on the attic drywall.
How often do you see missing shingles like that? I mean, is that something that can happen with a windstorm easily?
It can. You hit a certain wind threshold. It blows a certain way. If they're newer shingles or if they're worn or affected, you're going to see that definitely, especially this summer that we've had.
Okay.
So,
any parting words? Anything that you want to make sure people do?
just be aware.
Be aware.
Insurance doesn't cover everything. There's things that we have to be accountable for on our own. Homeowner maintenance is one of them. So.
Okay, we're going to put up the information for Aero Service team, but the thing is, whatever's going on outside is going to eventually end up inside your home, so you want to take care of it before it becomes a bigger issue. All right, Alex Borky, thank you so much. We appreciate